We got our bangs. That's how we do it. You gotta do the sound effect right now. Sheesh. What's up, guys? Today we're gonna do a music video breakdown for Dripply Famous. Today I have my boy John. John was the gaffer on that set, so I mean, I felt what other better way than to implement him on this video in order to, again, give those extra tips that I might forget on. And he was there, so he'll go ahead and guide you guys as well as with the things that we did in this video. So let's just show you guys a snippet of the music video, come back, and let's just break it down.
She wanna be famous, just wanna be famous. She wanna step out and people know what her name is. She just wanna be famous. She just wanna be famous.
Alright guys, so let's get started with this video breakdown. So to start this video off, let's start with the gear that we used. So to begin things off, it was a nightmare. I don't know what the hell was going on with me in my head, but I forgot my gimbal. Thankfully, my boy, he brought the gimbal. He brought the Ronin S. So I was able to use the Ronin S, thankfully, because if not, I was gonna probably send my girl or somebody to go get the gimbal at my house, but it was like a 45-minute drive. Thankfully, we had the gimbal. The camera that we used, it was my first time using the Sony a7S III for an actual big music video. I really like the camera and overall everything. We'll talk about it as the video goes. The lenses that we used for this particular video was the G Master 24mm 1.4, the G Master 14mm 1.8, and the Sigma 50mm 1.4 lens. So those are the three lenses that we used with the a7S III. The gimbal was the Ronin S from John here. As far as lighting, what lighting did we use for this video?
We used the Nanlite Forza 300 and the Aperture MCs.
And the Nanlite Mixpanel 60. So those are the lighting. John was BTS, but at the same time, from time to time, he was helping my girl on Gaffero, and he did bring some suggestions when it came to set. So let's get started with the first scene. So let's just break down the moral of the story of this video. The girl, you know, she's really engaged and she's really like crazy about Drip. Drip is famous. She wants to be famous, so she wants to take the fame from him. So she's trying to like hold him and this and that, right? Like basically a psycho girlfriend. In the beginning of the intro, we were supposed to have two of his homies basically kidnap him, and then basically, you know, she sent out these two guys to kidnap him to take him to the cage, and that's the way the video was gonna start off. But that got scratched out, so we ended up going with this intro where she's walking around the bed, he's sleeping, and then she basically puts like a towel, and you know how you guys watch movies and in the towel they put like some type of chemical where put on the nose and the dude falls asleep or whatever it is. That was the moral of that, in order to jump that into now he's in the cage, and she took him there, you know. It was really, that was as simple as that. We're just trying to implement that. So now that you guys know the intro, we're gonna start with, I guess, the first scene, and that was the bed scene. Talk about the lighting, because one lighting that I was trying to do was a Forza 300B. I was trying to light them up. I was trying to figure out whether I do it overhead. I keep moving the light, trying to figure out how can I actually grab the shot without getting the light stand, because I was trying to do like a 360. But go ahead and talk about what was your counter for that.
Yeah, so we were trying to do the Forza 300B overhead to light them up to get the whole area lit up. But as you said, when you want to do the 180 or 360, whatever, like the light was gonna show up on camera. So I got onto the bed like to get a different view, kind of like thinking inside the box. And then I saw that the bed frame had a metal frame, and the Aperture MCs, they're magnetic. So we're like, what if we just
mount them on
onto the bed frame with all the lights on, and then that way it would just light up Drip from the inside instead of the outside, and then you won't have your problem with seeing the lights anymore.
So a big tip right there that you guys can take away is make sure you guys always bring a second creative person on set. Don't just bring a second body. Like, you want to bring a second creator, because they're able to see things, and if they do see things, they're able to tell you and, you know, hopefully help you guys on set. Even if you guys are not getting paid a lot, even if you guys can pay them a little bit, that helps, because it can help you a lot basically on any set that you go on to. For this scene, I was, you know, first of all, I was already kind of panicking because the gimbal, I had to kind of reset the settings that he had on his Ronin S from my camera, and then the monitor mount that I had didn't fit his Ronin S. So basically I had my girl holding the monitor on the side as I was rotating around the bed. So that already made it difficult. So as I'm trying to figure out how we're gonna go about that, I was trying to figure out the lighting as well. But luckily, because he didn't have nothing to do at that moment, he was able to visualize and then kind of just counter with like, Mario, let's just put the MCs around the frame. Second creative mind is definitely crucial to have, 3 if possible. And yeah, it was very simple. I was able to do my 180 shot with the gimbal, and not worry about grabbing a light stand or trying to figure out how I'm not gonna capture that Forza 300B that I was trying to use to light them up. That's it for that particular set. Again, it was really, you know, a lot of movement. and really just on the moment. I think the studio, we only had it for 3 hours. We didn't know what we were gonna get. I just knew we were supposed to do the intro, that got swapped, and after that we didn't know from there. I knew he wanted performance scenes. I didn't know what kind of performances we were gonna go for. I just knew in the moment we were gonna adjust. So the MCs have a bunch of effects. They're easy, small, and portable, and it's all operated from a phone app. So that makes it a lot easier. We actually did block off the windows that were right there.
Oh yeah.
We just basically blocked it off with the curtains that were in the studio. The reason why I wanted that is I wanted full control on lighting, because if the sun came in from the window, it was gonna overpower the score that was behind him. And I didn't want that. So again, the more control you have over lighting, the better. So that was the bed scene. Let's get started with the second one. And the second one will be, it was with the pink, it was like the neon signs behind them. And this shot, it was the Sony a7S III again with the G Master 14mm 1.8. I was sitting down and I was really I felt like I was looking stupid. I was just like moving, just kind of vibing with the song. What lighting setup did we use for that?
The Forza 300B and the Mix Panel 60?
One of the two is like the 60 or the 150. We'll provide the BTS for that, I guess. How do we light them up? Because I know it's basically the couch was really, there was no depth, and I didn't want to overpower the neon sign. So what did we use to counter that?
So we had the lights on the side. So the Forza 300 was kind of like facing more towards Mario and like kind of just hitting the side of Drip's face on one side, and then the other mix panel was hitting the other side of Drip's face, kind of just to fill it in. That way it won't hit the wall and could get the neon sign.
So we just wanted ultimate control, because if you were to power them 45-degree angle, straight on, however you want it, if you didn't go from a side and you just went straight on or 45-degree angle, you're gonna basically blast the back wall as well. So getting from the side and using honeycomb grids, you're able to control the light and make sure it doesn't hit the back wall at all. And that was the goal for that one. So those two light setups, and yeah, it made the cut. But again, all these shots were really like in the moment because we didn't know what we were gonna go with. We did do another scene right across from that. It was like a school background. We had the MCs in the background on the floor, and we tried two different colors. It was the green and red, but that one didn't really make the cut. One of the reasons was because it was the first shot, and we really just did that to like kind of loosen them up. But again, we didn't know we were gonna go with it or not. Once we went through all the shots in that studio, I don't know if you remember, Drip kind of stated where I didn't feel like the same energy was there, because it was like just the beginning, so he wasn't like fully there. And I feel like after he saw the bed scene and everything that started getting better and better, he was just like, scratch that shot, we're not using it no more.
Yeah, because it didn't fit the rest of the scenes in there. It was just flat. There was no depth, like you said.
Yeah, it was
just
just
nothing going on.
And now let's take it real quick. I know we did the outdoor scene, so let's talk about the outdoor scene. We didn't use much, and this was literally just, you know, off a camera. Literally, that was it. It was literally just straight raw, no lighting, no diffusion. We did shoot in sunset because we wanted the best lighting.
Yeah, there was a lot of people, especially during that time, because it's a well-known spot and it has a good view of DTLA. So that's another thing to prepare for people if you're shooting outside.
There was a lot of people, so I guess adjust your angles. See how you can counter it, try to hide the people, shoot the other way, work around it. We just got lucky. Again, when you shoot in sunset, for the most part, lighting's gonna be really nice, but if you can get the clouds in there somehow, there's clouds, it just creates a beautiful look. And this location had the clouds. We had like a good sunset that day. What looked really good, and a lot of you guys should probably try it, is the outdoor shots. We did use a black Pro Mist filter, it was a 1/4. I will highly recommend, if you guys want to try using black Pro Mist filters outside in broad daylight, because it does create a different type of look. Now, you guys might not like it, you guys might like it. Again, try it out for yourselves. You guys might like it, and you know, it does create a different type of look. So yeah, that was literally as simple as that. We used a black Pro Mist filter outside that just created like that diffusion type of look. So let's just jump into the next frame. All right, so now the next video frame we're gonna talk about in this music video is when we had Drip inside the cage.
So for the cage, we stuck the Aputure MCs on top of the cage, so like just shine down on Drip only, and then to light up the model when she's outside the cage, we use the Mix Panel 60 to just with me holding it.
So the Mix Panel 60, the one clean thing about that Nanlite light is, first of all, it's cheap. It's not really that cheap, but it's cheap for what it offers, and you can make it portable with really any 14-volt B-mount battery, so it's not expensive. I think I spent like probably $150 for it, but it becomes portable. You know how many times we go portable on set, and it eliminates wires. It makes everything more easier to shoot. It's my first time again shooting with the Sony a7S III on a big music video, and the 12,800 native ISO is where it came clutch in this scene, because Aputure MCs, they weren't as bright as I would like it to be. They were, you know, I was like, what the hell? I have to jump up to 12,800 just to keep it, you know, really clean, because if not, I had to jump the ISO to like 4,000 or 5,000. I didn't want that. So I had to jump to 12,800, and I think I was like a f 2.2 or something like that. but it allowed me to maintain a clean image. The MCs, you know, they might not be as strong, so just be careful when you guys are planning to use them. You know, there's a time and place. For this scene, the other thing is I was going around. Sometimes I grabbed the shot where it was over the shoulder and she was right in front of the cage. But right behind her, there was his homies, my girl, you were there. There was different people there. So in order to not show them and hide the light, we just make sure the little MCs are not bright, so they're not gonna overpower the whole thing. They're just gonna stay in that cage and really just keep the background just blacked out. And he had the mix panel at 1.60 on the side. That was to light her up. We only had the artist lit up with the MCs. So in order to light her up, because if not, she's gonna be blacked out basically, was I had him holding the mix panel 60 from a side perspective. The one big benefit out of this, I guess, it was my first time shooting with Sony.
Yeah.
It was autofocus. I've never had a camera like, first of all, there's a cage, right? It's in between the cage and the artist. I never had a camera where I can just freely move all the way in and move all the way out and the whole shot's in focus. I've used the S1H. I love the image. I love everything about the camera. That camera, I had to do everything manual focus. And these shots, just leave it on auto, tap the focus on his face, and it's gonna track it all the way in. There's gonna be nothing's gonna happen. The whole shot's gonna be in focus, the whole shot's gonna be usable. So the Sony came in clutch. I never had that type of experience. So yeah, A7S III, I guess something I could say is it's really easy to use. The autofocus does help a lot. Beautiful images you guys are watching. It's 10-bit. Really can't complain. I really saw no difference. Once I used the A7S III on this production video, I didn't see a difference with the S1H and the A7S III. So at this point, I don't think it matters what kind of camera you have. It really comes down to the user. All right, so on top of the cage, I guess we're just gonna add one last thing to it. Make sure you guys get different type of shots. For like I mentioned, this story, she had him trapped. So make sure you guys get different type of angles. Don't just get one middle shot or a wide shot. Get tie shots. I got the arms basically trying to, you know, get out of the cage. Just trying to like loosen up. I also got his face. I got her taking the tape out of his face or putting it in, one of the two. I had all type of different angles. So I highly recommend just grab a gang of shots. Like it's better to have more than not enough. And especially in B-roll. Performance shots, like, you know, you can make work with B-roll. If you're heavy on B-roll, chances are your video will probably look a lot better than just heavy performance, unless that's what the video requires. But I always prefer more B-roll. What's your take? More B-roll or more performance in a video?
B-roll. If you're trying to tell a story, I think B-roll is more
B-roll,
important.
yeah. If you're trying to do performance and just freaking running at.
Yeah.
All right, so now the next thing, we're gonna go back to the actual scene where he's in the bed. So one quick tip for that particular area is while she was going in around basically the bed as he was performing, in the moment I kind of realized I can mask her out when she's going there and it could take me to the next scene. Keep that in mind. Those seamless transitions onto the next frame, those look sick. When it's like subtle, always pay attention if there's like a pole or anything around where you can mask onto the next scene. People like that. It's very subtle but very clean. All right, so now the next scene is gonna be the purple room where she's sitting down. This studio, it was like 125 degrees. It was hot as hell. It was at the very top of this building in LA. It was 5th floor. It was like 10 p.m. It wasn't hot. It was like 70. But up there, no AC, nothing. I swear it was like 120. It was terrible. So it got hot as hell. Right when we walked in, me and him knew already, like, bro, we gotta fucking finish this shit fast. Cause this is like, we're all about to be sweating and I'm trying to get all the shots as fast as possible with the girl because I didn't want shiny forehead. Same thing for the artist. So we had to be quick on this last studio because it was hot as hell. The purple room, what did we use for lighting?
For the lighting for the purple room, we just used the Nanoline Forza 300B. And basically we just moved some stuff around to give it a...
Let's create some depth or something.
Yeah.
I also used the black Promus filter, the 1.2. So I really wanted to give it like a strong look. Again, I was very curious, but at the same time, I wanted a super soft image on her. And I think it did a really good job. I didn't really add anything to it. It was really just straight out. Normally when you have a light around, you'll be able to see the 1.2 a lot stronger because it'll make that light glow like crazy. But this one, it was just her skin, and we just had, yeah, like the Force 300B. Just literally hitting her. And it was very simple, really just her looking at the picture frames and really just, you know, going crazy over Drip. All right, so that's pretty much it for Drip Lee's music video, Famous. Do you guys want to watch the full music video, which I highly encourage you guys to do so. Go support him as well. He makes dope music. That was the 3rd music video we worked on together. Link will be in the description below. Any last things that I didn't mention as far as this video that maybe they can take away?
Just adapt. things weren't going as planned, so we all kind of had to adapt real quick to make the video as good as it looks.
Yeah, just adapt. Lighting, it really comes down to lighting and lenses. So focus on those two things. I don't think cameras nowadays, as long as the camera has 10-bit, you don't need RAW, you don't need 12-bit. I think 10-bit does the job nowadays. Files are a lot smaller too, so it'll help you out on that end. Oh yeah, don't forget a gimbal. Don't be as dumb as me. How does that happen? If you guys have forgotten anything, leave a comment below. I'm really curious to see what you guys forgot, because that was my first time missing something big. Alright guys, hopefully you guys enjoyed what we talked about today. If there's anything else you guys want to know in this particular video, once you guys check it out, leave a comment below and we'll try our best to answer that. And go eat all the tacos in the world. You'll be happier, man. Trust me. Maybe your stomach might not be, but you will. Catch you guys next time. Peace out.